What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another video, and today we're gonna talk about Neymar Jr. 3 years ago, Neymar collapsed on the pitch in tears. His left ACL torn, his World Cup dreams shattered. The bandits said it was over. The fans whispered, "Ciao." And honestly, even the diehards started to wonder if we're ever gonna see him in the Brazil shirt again. Well, yesterday, May 18th, 2026, Carlo Ancelotti made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the world of football. Neymar is going to the World Cup. Stick around because this story is one for the ages. To understand why this call-up is such a big deal, you have to go back to where it all started to fall apart. October 2023, Uruguay versus Brazil, and in one single moment, Neymar world turned upside down. A torn ACL in his left knee, surgery, months of recovery. Then, just when it looked like he was coming back, more setbacks, more headlines questioning whether the 34-year-old could ever compete at the elite level again. His time at Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia had been a nightmare. Injuries built up, appearances were scarce. Social media went into overdrive. Memes, criticism, people writing him off. And the Brazilian national team, they moved on without him. Vinicius stepped up, Rafinha became the leader, and a new generation of Seleção stars emerged. When Carlo Ancelotti took over as Brazil coach in May 2025, after leaving Real Madrid, he said it out loud and clear: only fully fit players go to the World Cup. No exceptions. No legends passes, no sentiment. And for a long time, Neymar wasn't even getting a call-up for friendlies. It really did look like his Brazilian chapter was done. But here's what the doubters missed. They underestimated Neymar Jr. They underestimated Neymar's hunger. The man went back to Santos, the club where he grew up, the club that launched him into the world. And at 34 years old, with everything to prove and nothing left to lose, he started playing like a man possessed. 6 goals, 3 assists, 13 matches in 2026. Not world-shattering numbers, sure, but enough. Enough to show Ancelotti he still had it. Enough to prove the legs were still there, and enough to make everyone, bandits, former pros, Ancelotti himself, start paying attention. His Santos coach, Cuca, backed him publicly, saying Neymar had the quality to earn a World Cup spot. Even Lionel Messi came out and said Neymar is one of the best and deserves to be at this World Cup. When Messi vouches for you, you know this means something, right? Then Brazil released their preliminary 55-man squad ahead of June 1st. Neymar's name was on it. And then May 18, 2026, Ancelotti named the 26-man squad. Neymar Jr. made the cut. Let's take a second to appreciate what this actually means. Neymar is Brazil's all-time top scorer with 79 international goals. Only Ronaldo Nazário, Pelé, and Jairzinho have contributed more directly to Brazil World Cup goals than him. This will be his 4th World Cup. Let that sink in. 4 World Cups. In 2014, on home soil, he was unstoppable until the Colombia match shattered his vertebra and Brazil went on to suffer the horror of that 7-1 humiliation against Germany. Without him, he carries that pain and he never let it go. In 2018, Brazil went out in the quarterfinals again without the result they wanted. In Qatar 2022, Neymar played beautifully, and then Brazil crashed out in the quarters again, this time on penalties against Croatia. Every time so close, every time heartbreak. This World Cup, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, might genuinely be his last chance to lift that trophy. And you can bet everything on that fact that he knows it. Now let's talk about what Brazil's actual World Cup looks like. Ancelotti has built a squad around 2 superstars, Vinicius Jr. and Rafinha, who have been Brazil's lifeblood in recent years. Neymar slots into the attacking trio as the experienced, creative nucleus that can unlock any defense in the world on his day. Brazil landed in Group C alongside with Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. Honestly, it's manageable though. Group stage rotation is possible, and Neymar won't need to push to his limits early on. But Ancelotti's squad isn't without problems. Rodrygo and Estivao, two of Brazil's brightest young stars, are out injured. That's a huge blow, in some ways, though their absence is part of why Neymar's door cracked back open. The pressure is enormous. Brazil haven't won the World Cup since 2002. That's 24 years of hurt. And Ancelotti, who just extended his contract through to the 2030 World Cup, knows this summer is the moment to deliver. You know, there is something deeply poetic about this. Football is obsessed with young, fresh talent, and rightly so. But every so often, a player like Neymar comes along and reminds you that this game isn't just about speed and youth. It's about will. It's about resilience. It's about dragging yourself back from the lowest point and still finding a way to stand under those bright lights. At 34, Neymar is not the same player he was at 22, but he doesn't need to be. Brazil doesn't need him to be that. They need his vision, his creativity, his ability to change a game with one piece of magic. And in tournaments where margins are tiny, where one moment of brilliance can be the difference between glory and heartbreak, having someone like Neymar in your corner is worth everything. So here we are. The stage is set. One of football's most controversial, most gifted, most complicated players is headed to the World Cup one final time to write his legacy, to chase the one trophy his cabinet doesn't have. Will he finally get his hands on the World Cup? Can Ancelotti lead Brazil to that exclusive sixth title? Let me know in the comments, do you think Neymar can be the difference for Brazil this summer? If you're hyped for the 2026 World Cup, smash that like button and subscribe. We're covering every big story between now and the final. See you in the next one. Peace.